Can you give us a definition or clarify the term metaphysics? I know sometimes when you start speaking about metaphysics, people sometimes have a negative connotation to it, and you get different reactions to it. So can you clarify what that term is?
Meta simply means underlying or below. Physics simply means physical, the physical world. So when you say metaphysics, you're saying underlying or below or transcending. It also means transcending the physical world. So metaphysics is just a scientific way, if you will. It's not even scientific because science don't acknowledge metaphysics. It's a technical way of saying spirituality. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. It's just, no one has ever, there's no scientific proof of spirit per se, but we know that there is something beyond the physical. So a more correct term to say would be metaphysical, because we don't know. We just know it transcends and it's beyond. So just to say spiritual, you say, what are you talking about? Have you ever? No. But I do know something's beyond the physical, so why don't you say metaphysics? The reason why there's a hang-up is because that's another program. Somebody told you something, and you believe them, and because you want to be accepted and, have approval of society or your social group, you follow the flock. So now your mind bucks certain things because you want to have approval from your group. And that's what children do, you see. But as we mature, we're supposed to move past that.
Definitely. If you start looking into it, you'll see that there's really no negative connotation to it at all when you see different types of explanations. But I've seen in different situations where people just instantly have a negative connotation. And you were speaking of scientists. If you look at the Science Channel, the History Channel, you will see now that scientists really are, and doctors, and again, talking about the availability of energy, they are really starting to recognize that there is something beyond the physical. They don't want to come out and say it.
They have
to.
But they know, and they are recognizing, and it really is starting to come to the forefront. Really interesting how they are, okay, yeah, it is, but we're not going to endorse it. We're not going to say that it is.
Yeah, everybody wants to be accepted by their social group. Scientists have their groups, and they have conventions and so forth. Nobody wants to be the crazy one. Religious people as well. So metaphysics is right there in the middle of religion and science. It's that we're not accepted anywhere. But it is the wave of the future. It is the wave of the future because what's happening is religion is reaching more towards science. They're starting to, if you hear some certain, pastors and stuff, they're using information. They say, well, even science says this and this. Even science says this, and they're using that to back up their claims for what their religion teaches. Okay? And then you have people on the scientific level. We're seeing that quantum entanglement is the reason why we all feel disconnectedness. That's the same thing that they teach in, the Bible or the Quran. And so they're both reaching over to one another, and they're reaching over by the ladder of metaphysics. Okay, so it's all going to merge into a science. And this was what it originally was in its inception. Before it became religion, it was a spiritual science of transformation. Okay, and that gets me all into this whole idea of religion. I'm doing the Hidden Metaphysics of Christ and the Apocalypse on January 21st and 22nd down here in Atlanta. And I'm going into all of this particular information. And for those, who are still, learning and exploring and, listening with an open mind, I am in no way coming to destroy Christianity or religion. Everything, in my opinion, serves its purpose. I am here just to tell you what happened and to expose to you how it's been misused and became a tool of oppression, colonization, and mental slavery. When we go into all of that. And then I'm going to go deeper into some metaphysics stuff, and then I'm going to give a whole lot of tools and techniques, because I believe that, at the end of the day, after you read a book, after you go to a class or a seminar or listen to a CD, if that person didn't give you anything that you can apply in your life, then did you waste your time? Was it entertainment? Because I've learned that a lot of people, they want to hear stuff that's going to inflate their ego, but that's not necessarily what you need to hear to take yourself to the next level. So And I can go on my whole soapbox with that. I'll just stop right there.
Well, we definitely agree with that, because that's one of the premises and the basis of our radio show. When every show, we make sure that listeners, our audience and our listeners, take something that they can apply in their life right now. And so we definitely understand where you're coming from with that. In the meantime, would you like to give us some additional information about events that you have coming up? What's going on with your organization and your business? Sure.
Just to backtrack just one step, I did a boot camp. I did 3 boot camps here in Atlanta called the Ultimate Metaphysics Boot Camp. And basically, I said what I was going to do is I'm going to pour out everything I know, all of the sciences, all this stuff, and I'm going to condense it into an 8-hour boot camp. Why did I do that? I did that, and people were walking out with headaches. It blew their mind. You know, overload. I had a course manual. Yeah, it was overload, but people came back like 2 times, and then I did a cruise, too. We did a cruise, and some of the people kept coming back because, listen, Isaiah, was so much information, and the people were talking and said, you don't really get it till you come the second time. So, the feedback came back, and it was, expressed to me that I need to slow down and take it back. So I'm rewinding it way back. I'm taking it back to the Christianity. A lot of us have our roots in Christianity. And, a lot of people, still have their grandma saying, baby, you ain't going to church today? Or, did you do this? Or what's that you're reading there? And people just don't have the foundation in order to not destroy, or should I say not to challenge them, but to bring them up as well. It's not about necessarily knocking people down anymore. It's about, listen, this is the facts of what happened. This is what's taken out. Did you ever wonder why there's no female angels? Did you ever wonder why it's a father, a son, and then a ghost? Shouldn't it be a father, a mother, and, that type of thing, where the feminine aspect was removed? Did you know that it was revised 3 times, all of this particular? So all of this is just giving people, I want to say tools to be able to know their foundation. And when you really get to the essence of this Christianity, you will realize that it comes from the Greek word Christos, and that the Greeks were studying this information from the Kemites, or the ancient Egyptians, who called it the Ka. And all the Ka was the spirit. It's a certain aspect of the spirit, and they believe that we have several vehicles, several spirits that navigate different planes of existence, and the Ka was the navigator to take you to the next level, to give you access to the entire spirit world. And this was a science of transformation. The Greeks took it; it became Christos. The Romans, of course, after that, and they just basically concocted a character that we call Jesus from the word Zeus and Zeus. They put it together, incorporated some of the pagans, practices as well, so they can get those people to buy in, and they had a state religion. Okay, and it came to a point at the Council of Nicaea in 1611 that if you did not follow the canonized Bible of what we say it's going to be, then we're going to drag you and your books in the street and burn you both. So they killed people, massacred thousands of Gnostics and people who knew and understood that the Christ is not something that you worship, it's something that you are to become. It's something that's in you. It is your destiny. But when you start getting into worshiping and groveling and, this person is this person that, you forget the point that, no, you're supposed to be identifying with it so you can manifest that within yourself. So that is what I'm bringing to the table at this point, and that is part of my purpose of being here and sharing this information, helping people understand that we are to become this Christ, not wait, twiddling our thumbs waiting for somebody to come out the sky. That is a fantasy.
So as you are becoming that Christ, you're gradually transforming your beliefs, and you're vibrating higher and higher. So, what happens when you get to the point that you're vibrating so fast, you become less dense, and what happens then?
Well, they say that the universe is eternal, and that, seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. Well, we know that the grave is just a gateway to another life. Who's to say that once we enter in a certain frequency of graduation, who's to say it's not another Christ level to attain after that?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Who's to say it stops? I mean, if we just think
it
about...
Ever expanding.
I'm sorry?
I don't really believe it stops. It's ever expanding.
Right. Constant elevation. That's what expansion is, constant elevation. So we constantly elevate. We constantly grow. We constantly expand. And it's just mind-boggling, but, I'm just trying to get past this gateway right here first. So, yeah.
Just thought I'd throw that out there as a thought.
Y'all asking some deep questions tonight, boy.
Can you
make a brother
share with our listeners how to contact you? Once again, your web address, if there's email, phone, how people can get in contact with you?
Sure. The main website is Hidden Power University. Hidden Power University, all one word, just as it's spelled. And that one will give you all the live events. Then you have Hidden Power Revealed, which is your home study courses. Right now we have the Ultimate Metaphysics home study course, where it's almost like if you really want to learn like everything, going like 200 miles per hour, that is the course to invest in. And we have a bookstore, which is simply Nazir.com.